here at the Emirates this evening, where Arsenal are taking on Everton, who have won against Arsenal away from home for 20 years. They will be mindful, I guess, Everton, of the last league game here, Thierry, in which Arsenal found themselves 3-up within 19 minutes against Manchester United.
I mean, I was actually shocked in a way, in a good way, but I was actually shocked because I think it's the first time I saw Man United side playing like this. But I think it will be a different type of day. If they can go 3-up after 90 minutes, so be it. It will be great for them, but I think it will be different today.
You think it'll be different, Jamie, and why?
I think, to a certain extent, we don't quite know. It depends how Arsenal are after such a game where they had to really expend a lot of energy chasing the ball. So if they can react well, which I think they will because of the confidence that they're playing with, he brought in Giroud, who will freshen things up. I don't see too much of a problem. I also want to say about Peter Cech, his performance in midweek was incredible, and I think he's showing now why Arsenal bought him. It might not have got any other players in that transfer window, but the fact they got him in was huge. And this man, I think Thierry said it earlier on, his attitude has been brilliant. When you're not playing every week, it's important that you have a good attitude and you show willing and you work hard in training. When you come on, you make an impact. He did that against Watford last week and he did that against Bayern Munich in midweek.
Big chance for one or two of those Arsenal players to prove themselves to Arsene Wenger. Chance for Arsenal themselves to go top this evening before the Manchester derby on Super Sunday tomorrow. A chance for Everton to climb into the top 6. And it's going to be watched for us this evening by Alan Smith and Rob Hawthorne.
Tuesday's sensational win, Arsenal make 3 changes, but the goalkeeping position is unaffected after Petr Cech's outstanding display. However, Per Mertesacker has succumbed to another bout of illness, so Gabriel's return from his own fitness issue is well timed. Captain for the day, Santi Cazorla and Francis Coquelin will again afford extra protection to that back four, but there are changes ahead of them, where Aaron Ramsey's hamstring problem opens up a gap for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Alexis Sanchez keeps up a relentless schedule that sees him playing a 5th game in 16 days. And instead it's Theo Walcott who's rested, so Olivier Giroud is rewarded with a starting position after his impact from the bench against Bayern Munich. There's only one change to the Everton team from last time when Tim Howard conceded 3 to his former club, Manchester United. There was no adverse reaction for Seamus Coleman and John Stones after they'd made club comebacks from recent injuries. Gareth Barry joins a former teammate David James in the top 3 of all-time appearances in the Premier League, this being his 572nd. The one change from the United defeat sees Gerard Deulofeu start a Premier League game for only the 3rd time since his return to the club. And up front it's Romelu Lukaku, who was on the score sheet for Everton's last win over Arsenal, though that was at Goodison Park. Tom Cleverley's available for Everton again after a 6-match absence that began with an ankle injury sustained at nearby Tottenham. Joel Campbell and Matteo Flamini are among Arsenal's substitutes. So after his midweek heroics that have left Arsenal feeling on top of the world, can Olivier Giroud help Arsenal to the top of the Premier League when they take on Everton live next?
Those folks at Paddy Power are so generous, they just can't stop giving. Fire up the T-shirt cannon, fella. Who wants one? Oh, Nobby does. Oh, right in the money maker. Referee. They're so generous it hurts. And it doesn't stop there. For all Premier League matches on TV this Saturday and every Saturday in October, bet £20 before the match and they'll give you a free £10 in-play bet. Download the app and bet now. Paddy Power, you're welcome.
Arsenal-Everton, and amazing to think, Alan, that a year ago this man had only just made his first Premier League start.
Yes, he's improving all the time in confidence and decision-making, when to go forward, when not to. Excellent against Bayern Munich after a really tough first half, and Everton, I'm sure, would have spoken about containing his threat.
So Arsenal are wedged between the Manchester rivals and will go top with a win ahead of the derby tomorrow. But Everton themselves with the incentive of a place in the top 6 if they can keep up their excellent record away from home this season. This is Phil Jagielka, who was not at his best last time out. A slip gave Manchester United their 3rd goal. But he is on his mettle there to stop Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain from breaking through.
Yeah, you would expect a response from Everton. They didn't turn up to that challenge against Manchester United. know various reasons for that, but Roberto Martinez's team did pretty well against Liverpool the match before that at Goodison. We're hoping to get closer to those sort of standards.
Here is Ross Barkley. And James McCarthy finds Seamus Coleman, who's only recently back after injury. Gerard Deulofeu. One dealt with by Laurent Koscielny.
Interesting, Deulofeu gets the nod out on that right-hand side. Could have played Naismith, maybe a more safe bet, but he's gone for the creative quality of Deulofeu.
Deulofeu on the opposite side to his compatriot Bellerin, but looking to make inroads here against Monreal, who proves strong in his resistance. Deulofeu is expecting a corner, but doesn't get one.
Suspected with Bellerin in mind, I'm sure.
Here's Cazorla. Ozil. Now Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Coquelin. No route through there for Alexis Sanchez, but he's pretty determined to make one. Played in the end to Romelu Lukaku. And turned beyond him, and it's dealt with by Hector Bellerin.
Yeah, much depends for Everton on Romelu Lukaku's hold-up play on the counter. Can he give his teammates a breather? Compete against Gabriel and Koscielny.
Last weekend was a fairly solemn occasion at Goodison Park after the announcement of the death of former Everton player and manager Howard Kendall, and players from both teams today wearing black armbands as a mark of respect. Here's Mesut Ozil. Delayed the pass, which meant that Sanchez had then straight offside. Cleared by James McCarthy.
Yeah, big role for him and Gareth Barry. Good partnership in front of that back four. They'll have to do a lot of protecting, you suspect, today. Stay nice and close to Stones and Jagielka.
Cazorla at Bellerin. Looked like he put too much on it, but Bellerin does well, keeps it in. Right across by Coquelin. Sanchez wasn't about to give up on it, but couldn't in the end make anything of it.
Well, that was an occasion when Bellerin did scamper forward and got himself free on the right-hand side. On that occasion, Lennon didn't go with it.
Arsenal haven't been top of the Premier League for some 20 months, but Arsene Wenger closing down there by Giroud, which gave Tim Howard a problem, and in the end John Stones does get it away to Romelu Lukaku.
Well, Arsenal pressing very high there on Everton and Jagielka in particular.
It was a real scare for the Everton goalkeeper. Here's Lukaku. Now Coleman. Humility and hunger is what Arsene Wenger said his team needed to show today in a bid to stave off any complacency after the victory over Bayern Munich. You'd expect it to be a different kind of game where they wouldn't concede as much possession, although Everton enjoying plenty of the ball at the moment. Here's Stones. Delafeu. Monreal staying strong.
Yeah, Monreal doesn't get beaten too often these days in one-on-ones. Really has sharpened up his game over the last year. Very steady left back now.
Strong in both full-back areas now for Arsenal. Here's Seamus Coleman. Glowing reputation. Martinez side unbeaten on the road this season.
Yeah, I think it's maybe at the other end. You'd want to see his team sharpen. They've kept a few clean sheets, but failed to score in 4 of the last 7. Always puts extra pressure on your defence.
The only goals they have let in the Premier League away from home this season came when they were 2-0 down against West Brom, and they fought back magnificently to take all 3 points from that encounter. Kept in by Galloway, although it actually works for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's benefit. Barry was able to usher him out of the way before Galloway got back and conceded the corner.
He did ever so well. Gareth Barry actually tried to just shuttle across and put off Oxlade-Chamberlain, give him a little nudge. It's careless play from Everton. A couple of times in quick succession that's happened now, playing out from the back.
Cazorla with a corner. Giroud! He's in the mood again.
He got a good leap on his man, that threesome on the penalty spot. Attacking the ball, just couldn't get a clean enough contact. It's a combination of a couple of players denying him in the end.
5 goals this season for Olivier Giroud, but the last 4 of them have come as a substitute. Pressing again there on Howard.
Taking chances.
A chance taken by Koscielny then, although he is able to get back in front of Delafeu. Koscielny has never been on the losing side in 7 previous meetings with Everton. By Coquelin. Here's Alexis Sanchez. Absolutely opening up for Ozil. Free kick though conceded by McCarthy.
There's a clever turning side from Mesut Ozil.
And he scored here in midweek, was his 2nd of the Emirates in succession, having also registered against Manchester United when they got off to that magnificent start.
You couldn't have had 2 better home results, more morale boosting results than Manchester United and Bayern Munich. So for Arsenal today, it's a question of can they reach those levels of concentration as much as anything, application. It's what tests the teams who are in the Champions League. Can they go again at the weekend?
Playing it sensibly, urging everyone not to get too carried away. Good skill there from Ozil. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, nicked away by Barkley, and after a moment's hesitation, Coquelin does get there and does win the ball. And Cazorla immediately feeds Hector Bellerin again. Played against Galloway for another Arsenal corner.
Well, it's a really good start from the home team. Dominating possession, dominating the play.
The first goal Everton conceded against Manchester United was from a short corner that they never really got to grips with. That was an option available to Cazorla when Ozil advanced towards him, but it looks as though another one will go directly into the box now. And it was Gabriel who got up that time behind Giroud.
Well, between them, they look a threat. Those 3, they're the target. And if he saw it a little bit late or mistimed his jump slightly, but again, doesn't get the contact necessary. looking for a positive start, Arsene Wenger. He's seen it. You'd actually think they'd had more possession than that. Certainly the ball's been in these areas more often than not.
Sanchez almost slipping it through to Monreal. Here's Gabriel. Now Cazorla. Koscielny. Gabriel. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Here's Bellerin. Cazorla. Oxlade-Chamberlain the target. Galloway gets there and gets the goal kick too.
Well, he's another one that's making leaps and bounds in his education, his development. Only 19 years of age, Brendan Galloway, but he's got the faith of his manager. He's not disappointing.
Actually made his breakthrough at MK Dons at the age of 15, did Brendan Galloway, playing his 12th game for Everton today. And his adaptation to life at the highest level has been necessary with the absence of Leighton Baines. There's Ron Koscielny. Now Santi Cazorla. The flick from Sanchez, who gets it back from Monreal. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Lovely ball roll through to Santi Cazorla. Bellerin with the cross, and Jagielka and Stones both ended up going for the same ball.
Well, it's such lovely play from Arsenal. Typically intricate. Not only that, it's penetrating as well.
And again, the triple threat of Gabriel, Giroud and Koscielny will cause Everton some concern as Cazorla lines up to take the kick. Back out to Cazorla. Ozil. Cazorla going lower that time, but it's dealt with by Gareth Barry.
Yeah, that wasn't a great ball from Cazorla, but he's put in three lovely corners right on the money. His delivery's caused some problems to Everton early on.
To McCarthy. Barkley, now Barry. This is Coleman. Sanchez showing his strength, showing the other side of his game.
His desire, which is never lacking.
And Giroud gets the touch, and it carries to Mezzadeza, but the referee's blown. Free kick given against Olivier Giroud.
Well, he'll be relieved. Should have scored Mezzadeza. It was a long ball, and it just appeared they got a favourable break for the ball. They're just climbing on the top of John Stones. Good save in the end from Tim Howard. It's a more direct ball from Arsenal. Very nearly paid off.
It used to be the criticism of Arsenal that they didn't have a plan B, but since the introduction of Giroud, they've sometimes taken a more direct approach. With their victory in Europe in midweek, they took a more defensive approach. So now seeing a little bit of pragmatism in the Wenger reign now as they look to end a long wait for a Premier League title, even though they have achieved silverware in the last couple of years by virtue of the FA Cup. Here's Cazorla.
Everton, just doing really what Arsenal tried to do against Bayern Munich in the week, and sitting fairly deep, just trying to deny space between the lines.
Trying to rise above the slings and arrows flung in his direction by his rival from across London, and after Jose Mourinho's latest setback today, he may end up having the last laugh.
There's real optimism here now. It's whether they can carry it through.
Here's Romelu Lukaku. Lennon. McCarthy. This is Jagielka. Now Gareth Barry. Delafeu. Koscielny was absolutely determined that was going to be his ahead of Seamus Coleman. Lovely cushion touch for Ozil, but he couldn't quite find his range to pick out Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Galloway got in the way.
Yeah, Galloway. A little fortunate though, he didn't know where Oxlade-Chamberlain was coming inside.
Here's Delafeu. Nacho Monreal. Ozil's touch. And Sanchez. Cazorla. Now Sanchez. And the referee felt that John Stones had won the ball fairly enough. This is Ross Barkley. Coleman.
Just managing to keep hold of the ball a little bit more now, Everton. The defenders will be relieved about that. A breather.
He's picked out Brendan Galloway. Cross blocked by Hector Bellerin. And towards Lennon, and Coquelin appeared to have been beaten by the bounce, but was actually held back by Lennon.
A little fortunate, Coquelin. He's tried to attack the bouncing ball. He knows he's coming, Lennon. And he just shifts half a yard across, but not a lot there.
Whether in contrast to the general mood here, well, sunshine days in terms of Arsenal's results. They've won their last 3 league games in a row and 5 victories in the last 6 matches. They haven't let a goal in their last 3 either. Little flick from Lukaku.
I think it's that defensive record that'll test them. Arsenal have defined their season. It's the joint best so far. If they can continue that, they've got more than enough going forward, you think?
Here's Gabriel. Carelessly given away by him to Barkley. Jagielka. Koscielny. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Bellerin. Here's Cazorla. Ozil's touch into the path of Giroud.
Good idea. Ozil played it into Giroud and just didn't make the run. He got blocked a little bit by Jagielka.
Some good approach play from Arsenal so far, but that Everton defence holding out.
Well, now the team obviously that's making all the run, keep the tempo going.
Here's Santi Cazorla. Monreal. By Seamus Coleman. Here's Santi Cazorla. Coquelin. Oxlade-Chamberlain. He was just lining up the shot and was taken away from him. Here's McCarthy. Now Delafeu. Making the run. Seen away there by Koscielny. Here's Sanchez. Ozil. Lovely run from Alexis Sanchez, picked out well as well by Ozil. And Jagielka had to be careful in timing his challenge.
Especially on this surface, because you go to ground and you can just slide into an opponent. What a ball. Typical, disguised from Ozil. Just trying to wait for the challenge Sanchez and then play it across.
Ozil's corner. Back off Gabriel's head. And wide.
Again, it's an Arsenal player that's getting his head to the ball, so those Everton defenders won't be overly happy about that trend.
First time for Koscielny. Very wary because Giroud was loitering. Now wins the free kick from the nudge of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Sarcasm in the applause there from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. There's Coquelin. Bellerin. Here's Cazorla. Giroud. Let's try and fight off John Stones here.
This time his tackles well. John Stones. When you go to ground, you've got to make sure you do get the ball more often than not, and he does. Oh, he's got his trunks on behind that. He's married in, I suppose. Yeah, he's got goggles and everything.
It's dreadful. So I don't think he's eating that, actually. Here's Bellerin. Cleared by Gareth Barry.
Got to get more out of Lukaku. He's been dominated by the centre-half, the defenders. I know he's been exposed, isolated at times, but he's hardly won a header so far. Needs to do a little better.
Here's Bellerin. Giroud, now Cazorla. Back well by Galloway. This time, challenge Francis Coquelin, and Lee Mason was criticised earlier in the season for not sending him off against Crystal Palace. Does show him a yellow here.
I don't know whether it's a yellow card, it's certainly a foul. Maybe the fact that he goes to ground. What does for him. Never great for a player like him to pick up a yellow in the first half of a match. He's always got to be careful after that, think about his challenges. And normally it's just an instinctive reaction.
So he missed 2 Premier League matches, Francis Coquelin, since his recall from a loan spell at Charlton last season.
I think if they were to miss him for any length of time, they would miss him, so to speak, because they haven't really got a player of his type and ability in that holding role. That is an area where they're a little bit short, I think, Arsenal.
Lukaku, now Lennon. Three of his North London derbies did Aaron Lennon. Here's Galloway, now Lukaku. This is Barkley. Barry. Stones. Coleman. Delafeu with a cross, cleared by Bellerin, but only to Gareth Barry. Galloway strike, deflected behind.
They're going to try and do that, get the ball into the box a little more. You see the rain pouring down here, and that can often lead to defensive mistakes as the ball skids off the surface. So Everton going to try and test that Arsenal back four a little more.
Pulling back the corner for Gareth Barry. And then again looking for a way through, and it caused confusion, and Stones missed the target.
Well, that's what I was talking about, the ball just skidding off the surface, and maybe that's what did the Petr Cech why he couldn't hold it. Good wing play. I think he's tried to hold it actually, Cech. He's knocked it into a danger area there. And that's where you want a striker on the end of it. As good a footballer as Stones is.
It's a 1 goal for John Stones. That was in the victory against Manchester United back in April. Here's Bellerin. That's beyond the reach of Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, that is one aspect that sometimes lets him down, that delivery from the wide areas.
Despite the good start that Arsenal made to the season, they're still some 14 points down from where they were at the same stage of their last title-winning year, but that really was a once-in-a-lifetime achievement, wasn't it? The season of the Invincibles.
Well, on average, they've been 14 points behind the champions since they won the title, so that gives you a measure of the gap they've got to close. I think this year they stand as good a chance as any of doing that. It's only October still, but looking good. But games like this that require patience, it all goes towards a title-winning campaign. If you come away with 3 points, or even if you don't lose and you're not at your best.
Here's Lukaku. Now Galloway. Barkley working hard to win it back. Applying undue pressure.
It's been hard for him to get in the game, Ross Barkley. It's been a scrap to try and gain possession for the most part this half.
Special talent, according to Arsene Wenger, with massive potential. Ross Barkley still just 21 years of age, but already with more than 100 appearances for the club to his name. There's Gareth Barry. Whom it can now be said that only Ryan Giggs and Frank Lampard have made more appearances in the Premier League. Now Koscielny. quite a rallying of enthusiasm at the half-hour point. Here's Gabriel. Magliocca. Chamberlain following it in there. They clearly sense there's an opening with the delay from Howard before he clears.
Yeah, whenever he does go back, the three lads squeezing up on that back four of Everton's. It's gone a bit flat though for the home side last 10 minutes.
Here's Koscielny. Chamberlain. To Sanchez. Now Ozil. Sanchez coming in to take over again, and he was blocked off by a combination of Lennon and McCarthy.
It's one of those, can the player get out of the way? He doesn't actually have to get out of the way, but if he steps into the path of the play, he just turns his back on him really. He might have left him out today. Arsene Wenger talking about how tired he's been, he's on the edge, but once again he makes the team sheet.
Well, the wants to play seems to come from him. He seems to have a never-ending appetite to turn out in these games, Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, you've got to save him from himself sometimes.
Ozil delivering with a kick, and Koscielny could have only been inches away.
Well, again, it's on the mark, the delivery. Never gets close to making a good contact on it. Comes in at an awkward angle, and the little shot from Barry's enough to knock him off course.
Monreal spotted the danger and intervened. And he breaks free to pick up the return pass too, but he can't cut it across to Giroud. Oh. Effort from Alexis Sanchez, improvising on the follow-up.
Yeah, saw the stats here in the match so far. This in the end was quite a bit wide, but worth a go.
Pushed out by Magliocca. Here's Barkley. Now McCarthy to